Good morning, everyone. We have a beautiful day to kick off Power Pure Presence. Emotions are your emotions running strong, running hot. Let's talk about emotions today. Let's get some calm. You can see beautiful pond here. Just a serene, beautiful environment. I'm going to welcome you in today. Good morning. Good morning. Saying good morning to our audience. Good morning. Thanks for being here. Just allowing this calm. It really is a spectacular day I'm going to set up here. I have a poem to share with you. Just encourage you to find that deep breath this morning. In through your nose. It sounds like a easy to do, easy not to do, but just allowing that breath just in through the nose. Let the belly expand, fill up, let those lungs fill to capacity. It's a calming effect. It changes your biochemistry. So take in the surroundings here with me, if you will. I have a couple poems to share with you today. And see if you can allow these open spaces. I want to welcome in our podcast audience. So what we're going to do, I'm going to set up here, share a couple poems with you, take in nature, and then I'm going to go for a little walk, a saunter around, and there'll be some commentary, there'll be some pause, some scenery. I hear the bullfrogs are chiming in every now and again. So let me get set up, and then I want to read a poem to you, especially if you're dealing with emotions, if your emotions are high. Glad you could make it too. Thanks for being here today. We have one of our live listeners. And this podcast is a podcast. It's a video. It's on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku. So hopefully wherever you're getting this, I invite you to go over to our YouTube channel at Austin J. Haynes. And you can jump in the live comments when the show goes live. If you know somebody who's dealing with anxiety, this is a great remedy for it. You can just take a moment, whatever, a couple minutes. If you want to stay longer, you're welcome. And just see what comes up for you, what comes up as we go through this process. And we're going to talk about that. What comes up and how do we respond to it? So let me get set up here and I'm going to read this poem to you. So we're going to do this real time. This is real time in the moment, just dealing with whatever happens. So let me set this up. Let's see if I can just take that pause and breathe. Get a nice view of respond here. So take a few moments to pause and breathe. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to do it right like this. Take a moment to pause and breathe in through the nose. And as you're listening, see if you can get at least 5 deep breaths. If you want to do them all together, if you want to do them just whatever feels right, do that. Apologize about the. There we go. All right. Did you pause and breathe? Type in the comments if you did. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to our live audience. And if you're getting this on the playback, just know that it is on YouTube. It's up there. You can find it. You can find all the shows right there on YouTube. All right. So here we go. Have you ever had a guest at your home? All right. TJ did the pause and breathe. And what I've noticed as we practice this, it doesn't take long to feel it. Have you ever had a guest at your home? Now, most people, I would think that's a unanimous yes. Have you ever had a guest at your home? That's a unanimous yes. You probably have had a guest at your home. Here's a question. Are they still there? Is the guest still there? Or did they leave? Sounds like a crazy question. Of course they left. They're not there. Otherwise they'd be living with you, right? But I'm going to visit something that to add some perspective on emotions. Emotions that come in. We are emotional beings. We aspire to live more fully now. We aspire to be in the moment, as is the message with Power Pure Presence. But the emotions come in. Fear, anxiety, stress, regret, remorse, resentment, excitement, enthusiasm, happiness, joy, gratitude, appreciation. What emotions dominate you? What emotions do you feel on a daily basis? So let's take a look at this poem. I believe this is the 13th century. This is Rumi. This is a poem by Rumi. It's called The Guest House. Some left my house but live in my head. Ooh, that's interesting. So we talk about guests, and we have a live viewer saying some have left but live in my head. All right, so let's read this poem. It's called The Guest House. Here we go. The human being is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes. as an excited visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if even if they're a round of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorable. Hold on, Rumi. Easy. Let's keep going. He may be clearing out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Isn't that an interesting way to look at it? What he's saying in this poem is that we as human beings are a guest house, and each emotion that we feel is a visitor. And as we know, no visitor stays forever. But it's interesting, some have left my house but live in my head. Sometimes emotions are so strong, the happening is so strong, it can leave an imprint on us. But even if that's true, can we celebrate it? Can we make way for something new? Like, even if there's a round of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest as honorable. He may be clearing out for some new delight. Now, what I would say is, in the language of power, pure presence, embrace. Like this branch by my feet. Embrace. Maybe you can't celebrate, but there's a couple key things with this poem, if we dig. One, it's a separation between you and your emotions. When we are not present, we are the emotion. Think about, you might have heard a term with nationalities. Don't get my Italian up, or Irish temper, or you, you might have heard this in the past in some way, where we take the emotion and we attach it to the individual or a collective body. And then it becomes a part of our identity. But that's like saying, my guest is me. While there might be some connection point, they're not you. You're separate. And that's what I love with this poem. He's separating it. He's saying, you are the experiencer of the visitor. It's an experience. It's not part of who you are. And that's what's brilliant about this. But it takes presence, really takes awareness first. As the emotions come in, can we pause and breathe and not get wrapped up into it so quickly? Can we step back and just recognize it and then somehow embrace it? And it's a paradox. The whole conversation is a paradox, because you want me to embrace something that's painful or I don't like. But the paradox is, when you embrace it, it has a shorter life. So I got to embrace this bee flying around me. So I got a yellow jacket here just around my legs here. Hold on a second. He's a visitor. See how the metaphors show up in nature? I think he's gone. Okay. He left already, see? Or she. Probably a he, though. So this is an ongoing process. of acceptance, awareness, acceptance. Think about awareness of there's that I'm angry again. Acceptance. Okay, I'm a human. I'm angry, but I'm not the anger. So I'm not the anger. And then somehow embrace it, just like the guest. The human being is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes, an excited visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a round of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorable. He may be clearing out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them all at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So, can we be grateful? I had an emotion this morning. I had some anger this morning and I had some frustration. And then, you know what I said? I'm grateful. So, as I'm even doing this, I didn't even realize I went through the process myself this morning. The leaf has fallen off the tree. It's August. It's begun. Am I going to hold on to the leaf and put it back on the tree? It must fall and be let go. Just like each emotion. Can you embrace? Good morning, Ivy. Ivy's joining us live listener. If you're getting this on the playback, I want to invite you to go over to the YouTube channel. It's the best place to follow along. It helps with subscribers, and it's a better place for the longer form videos. So I want to invite you to go over there. You can watch the playback. You can also have the opportunity, if you feel like it, you can jump in the live feed. So it's at the bottom of the screen. Subscribe to YouTube at Austin J. Haynes, and we'd love to have you part of our community if you want to start that way. And then I have a poetry book. I'm going to be sharing one of my poems here in a moment. But let me just share this with you. And I think a big thing is the separation between you and your emotions. Can you feel your emotions and not be identified with them? I used to have feelings of failure. Ivy's asking, should I go over to YouTube? You can stay here for now. It's just I'm trying to move everybody over to YouTube out of Facebook because Facebook's hard to manage. But however you found us, we're glad that you're here. I'm glad you're here today. And can we just create that separation? I used to feel feelings of failure and inferiority, and they were a part of my identity. And it was this process that ever unfolds to understand that they're not, that everything, it has not come to stay, it has come to pass. It has come to pass. And this is an ongoing process for all of us, as another leaf just fell in front of me. So let me read this other poem here with you today. It's one of the first poems I wrote, and I just went back and revised the video. So if you go to the YouTube channel, you'll see the video. It's all the cinematography. It's all my cinematography with the poem. So I've revised the music and the cinematography with the poem. And I'm going to read it here live. And if you like it, you can go find it on my YouTube channel. And I just ask that you subscribe, follow along, and let's journey together. We journey together. And we can do that now with so many different ways. So before I share this poem, I want to invite you to take a breath because it's important to make this a practice every single day. So I'm going to step out of the frame The only thing I ask, breathe in through the nose, breathe deep, let your belly expand so that your lungs can fill to capacity. I just feel it. I feel this. It's not a. It's not like a shot of caffeine being here. It's like this. It's like a beautiful, say it, peaceful IV drip. It's this beautiful, peaceful IV drip. All right, let me read this poem. Speaking about feeling things. Sometimes emotions, if we're not aware, can kind of take us over for a season. We go through a tough time, and we're seeking answers. So this could be in the context of an hour, a couple hours, half a day, a week, a month, a year. Could be a season. Could be a couple years. It just depended on where you are. So let me read this. This is called "What is this malaise?" What is this malaise? Think of malaise as a depressed state, a funk, a melancholy state of affairs. Malaise. What is this malaise? What seemed clear in the early morn has dissipated in the evening haze. The sun has vanished, and what remains is this strange malaise. It came from the ether, for I know not where. Before it arrived, I hadn't a care. Where is that spark that once ignited my soul? My passion peaked as I played my role. I burned bright all afternoon, just like the glorious sun. Life was sweet, and the best had just begun. A blink of an eye, and the next thing I see, the twilighted horizon bursting before me. The sun fading, and now I face the night. I still wonder if I should put up a fight. This strange malaise has settled upon my being. Instead of resisting, I choose to await its meaning. It suddenly feels as if my life is over. Preparing for the worst, I lose my composure. In the midst of this happening, the truth is revealed. The sun always rises again, making everything clear. Developing my faith is what I needed to learn. Morning, inspired once again, my soul now yearns. What is this malaise? You can go over to the YouTube channel and you'll be able to see that video. I just redid the whole cinematography. I shuffled the deck and put the whole thing back together. And that poem, the Rumi poem, and then the poem I just shared, they kind of go hand in hand. It's about this beautiful journey of life that there's going to be times when we feel like it's over, and it's real. And can we embrace all of life? Can we be aware? can we be more aware? I don't know any human being that's 100% aware all the time. This is an ongoing journey for me every single day. When you look up, see nature's beauty bursting, see nature's beauty bursting with beauty, it awakens you to get out of your malaise. We're going to saunter here in a moment. You want to saunter together? Thanks, Ivy. That's a beautiful comment. Good morning, Mandy. I'm glad you made it today. The redo looks great. Yeah, I redid the poem. I just think it's so impactful. I want to encourage you to go watch the cinematography. I'll call it poetic cinematography, if you will, where that poem is read with the beauty behind it. We will saunter here in a moment. I'm just reading the comments. If you're on the podcast, I'm just reading the live comments here. And again, just want to encourage you to go over to YouTube. Really appreciate the YouTube subscriptions. I'm going to be building that out. Oh, yes, when we can be grateful in the malaise, the storm, the challenge. Let me put that up on the screen. This is really good by Ivy. Oh, yes, we can be grateful in the malaise, the storm, the challenge, so much power in that. There is, it really is. And for those of you joining, I shared the Rumi poem, The Guest House. You can check that out. There's also a really cool song by David Wax Museum. That's the name of the band. David Wax Museum, something like that. It's called The Guest House. And it's a really cool song. It's really upbeat. And I think you'll find it a lot of fun to kind of add a fun piece to this. So maybe I'll put that link in the comments on Facebook and YouTube, so you can listen to that song. I think you'll enjoy it. So okay, well, this has been great so far. I'm gonna saunter a little bit, and just again want to encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube and be on the lookout for this upcoming book coming up soon. We'll be releasing that book 2023. We're going to saunter now. Oh, wow. Just like I said, being here, it's not like a shot of caffeine, but it's like this beautiful, natural IV drip. Ivy. There we go, Ivy. Yes, we read The Guest House by Rumi. We read What Is This Malaise by Austin J. Haynes. It's crazy. I talked to Mandy offline. Like, I can't believe poetry has kind of found me here, and I'm just going with it. But let me get this set up here real time. We'll give you a nice high view here. All right, so here we are. If you know somebody that would appreciate this, please share it with them. This is fun. Okay, there we go. We're here. All right, so we're going to saunter a little bit. We're going to walk through. This is Hopkins Pond. This is my favorite place. I've been streaming here a lot. I'm also on TikTok. We do live streams from TikTok here. But we're going to walk. I'm going to talk. I'm going to pause. I'm going to pan. We're just going to see. And I invite you to see what you can see, because you will see something that I don't see. You might hear some residual noise. You might hear the airplane. You hear the bullfrogs. The bullfrogs were chiming up during What Is This Malaise? So here we go. Glad you're here today. Thanks, Ivy. It's been and I'll just say there's a satori. You know what a satori is? A satori is sudden enlightenment, and I think what I'm growing to learn is that embracing everything, but sometimes our greatest breakthroughs are in the relinquish of the letting go, that process of letting go, that process of being in the present moment, being intentional, and then letting go and relaxing into life. I read on my journal this morning, there was a quote by John Jantz. He says, uh, be still more, and then focus more on solving a problem. So there's this balance of being still, intentional stillness. Satori is immaculate. Thanks, Mandy. Relax into life. I love that. Think about and it's about finding your pace. Good morning. The other reason why I stream here is because the signal's good. I just confirmed that you got a good signal here today. Be still more and focus. Yeah, let me put that up on the screen. I'm going to put your shares up here. Be still more, focus more on solving problems. Love that. Can you find your pace? Find your pace. True letting go is just as powerful in this respect. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's can you let life unfold? Can you be aware of the emotions that rise? And like Rumi says, can you entertain and celebrate them all? And let them leave. If you're just joining, I opened up today with, have you ever had a guest at your home? Have you ever had a guest over? And the answer is, of course, we've had guests over. And the next question was, is the guest still there? And of course, you'd be like, no, they're not here. If they were still here, they'd be living here. They're not here anymore. And I'd use that as a segue into think about the emotions as guests. They're just guests. And maybe you can't celebrate and entertain them all, but can you embrace them all? And like Rumi said in the poem, maybe that they're going to come in and steal your furniture and violently clean you out, but they're making way for some new beautiful delight that you haven't been privy to yet. So I'm going to keep going. Oh, I see the heart to the lake and the leaves. Beautiful. Just where you were. I already left it, but we have the video, so I'm going to keep sauntering here, and here's the path we're on. See these ripples with the little, I don't know if they're tadpoles. Look at the sunlight. See it? It's slipping through into the water. The tree leaves. drooping down to touch the water here. Roots in soft soil will inevitably fall, right? And these trees can't choose where they rooted. You can see them leaning, and we had some storms come through here, so there's trees down. And there's a deep green in the tree leaves that can only be personified by that end of summer, that deep, dark, saturated green. And end of summer provides the canvas as these leaves become saturated with summer, deep green, and then they prepare for the fall, literally and figuratively. So we got a live comment here by Mandy Robinson, also a poet. I use the train as the analogy, passengers stopping by. If you don't want to entertain them, put them back on the train and say goodbye. That would be poetic. I use the train as the analogy of passengers stopping by. And if you don't want to entertain them, put them back on the train. Yeah. You loving the trees. I'm gonna get some sky and trees here for you today. How we doing time wise? Let's see. Here we got some sky here. Make sure you take that deep breath through the nose today. Let the belly expand. Let me show you these steps over here. Neat. They're photographic. Everything here is fluvial to the Cooper River ecosystem. Fluvial, it's a new word. Fluvial. Okay. Now we got some people sitting up there being quiet, so I'm going to go back this way. Actually, what I want to do is I want to take you over to where the storm trees went through. The trees fell down. Oh, I just learned there's a new park bench here. Oh, what a beautiful place to sit. I'm going to have to remember this. All right, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to the area here, the storm, but we'll come over here. Check this out. Take some time to pause and breathe. Ask you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. and share this with one person who might be anxious. This might be a nice little deviation. Really love this, especially on a day like today, and I want to encourage you to get outside today for yourself. It's really just so therapeutic, so relaxing. Let me grab your shares here. I totally sit there. Yeah, I'm gonna. And the weather's really good for it right now. Okay, so here's the storm area. I was able to get here. Look at this old tree here. It's old. Find it interesting. I'll just share a little tidbit with you. This is Hopkins Pond, and I was up at Walden Pond in Concord, Massachusetts, where I was doing a deep dive into Henry David Thoreau. But the what's interesting, I looked at old photos, and the pond is mostly open. There's less trees and vegetation around it, and now you can see the thicket, the growth is all burgeoning up in different life cycles. You got some old trees, you got some new growth, and but the soil in New Jersey is historically sandy and soft. So when you get a good storm here, you can get this. Looks like a bomb went off, but in another sense, it looks like a piece of art. So I want to thank you for being here today. My name's Austin. I'm the host. I'm writing a book called Seeds of Infinitude. You've been listening to Power of Pure Presence, dealing with emotions. If you're just catching it now, go back and listen to the beginning. Talk about how to handle our emotions, or rather a perspective, if you will. And I just invite you to follow the YouTube channel. And I'm just glad you're here today. And it's just a beautiful honor to be able to share the space with you. I love doing this and just want to do more of it. So thanks for being here today. Until next week, let me just grab your final comments. I appreciate the live audience today was really back up here. Beauty in nature's chaos. Yes, love and hugs. Mandy, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it. It's all God's artwork. Amen to that. And again, just thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. All right, everyone. There's only one more thing to do. Get outside. Pause and breathe. Bye-bye.